Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. We're back, which means it's time to get to work. So we got a lot to do. Starting on the thing, we noticed some issues while we were on the trip to Louisville. Couple weird things. I need to jack the car up and make sure, so basically my rear wheels are hitting my rear fenders towards the front angle of the fender, okay? I feel like something moved. It's doing it on both sides. I don't remember, and I'm looking at pictures and I don't see the same gapping that I do now, right? So either something settled or moved, but we're rubbing on the rear. So we're gonna figure that out. So I'm gonna jack this up here in a minute and take the rear wheels off of it and just kind of look, see what we got, right? And then from there, so that was one issue, which was kind of a crazy issue, because when we unloaded it off the car trailer, we noticed it. My dad noticed it, Big Ron, and which caused me to do a lot of walking. Because as soon as I sat in the car, the driver's side, I don't know about the passenger, but the driver's side was rubbing as soon as I got in the car, just from the weight, right? And I'm 6'2", probably 260, so I get it. In a little car like this, that makes sense. But we need to fix that nonetheless. So thinking if nothing moved, I'm thinking I'm gonna swap out my rear shocks to air shocks and try to just get a little bit more height, just a little more clearance there, so that we don't rub no matter who's in the car in the rear. So there's that. So we got that to contend with. Another randomly weird thing, the car's running good. If the car sits any length of time, you go to start it, it fires, boom, okay? We're good. Runs great, warms up good. It runs better when it's warmed up, which makes sense. Runs a little rough, not horrible or anything, but just a little tick rough when it's cold. Now, problem we ran into, which is why we're going to check this out, we pulled it off the car trailer, started it up, backed it off the car trailer at the Street Rod Nationals on Wednesday, okay? No issues. Fired right up, off the trailer. We parked the car. We then go to unload the trailer in another part of the convention center and come back with the truck. We go inside the register. About an hour goes by, okay? Come out to the car to start it up, to drive it into the show. Car will not start. It just cranks. Nothing. Only way I can get this car to start at this point is after about 10 minutes of that. And I don't mean consistent 10 minutes. I was being gentle, and it's embarrassing at the same time. I decided to just floor it and see if I could just get fuel to it and get it to fire, and it did. So that's good. It did start up, ran like dog shit for a minute, for about 5 minutes, and then cleared out, and it was fine. In front of us at that point, watching me go through all this crap, was a gentleman from California who had a wagon, like a 57 Chevy wagon, with a surfboard on top, which is kind of cool. He used to run a Volkswagen shop out in California. Cool. He was listening to this and said that I should check my my valves. And my gap and all that. So that's the next thing that's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is get this up. I'm going to verify the rear's okay. And if I need rear shocks, I'll just go ahead and order them. And then from there, I'm going to pop the deck lid and get in there and take the number 1 spark plug out. Basically crank it over to number 1, top dead center. Make sure everything's correct there. My distributor, my button is aimed at number 1 plug wire. I'm top dead center on the crankcase with my mark, and we're at top dead center on the piston on the number 1 cylinder. I'm gonna do that. Rear wheels need to come off. Need to double check that nothing moved, okay, so that I have the right clearances. If nothing moved and everything looks right and everything's tight, then I'm going to move towards probably air shocks on the rear to raise the rear up to give me just a little bit more room, not a lot, just a little, so that I'm not rubbing here on these fenders when I get in it. So there's that. The other thing is to check my valve clearance, check my timing, double check all of that, put it on top dead center, number 1 piston, get under here, pull the valve covers, check the valve clearances, make sure that's right on every cylinder. And I think we should be pretty good at that point. Maybe a little fine tuning on the air fuel mixture screw, and the idle screw, but I mean, we're close. So I want to check that. That should get it running right. Still starts great with the key, no issues there. Ignition works great. The next problem is we need to do a little paint correction on the doors, on the passenger doors. We got a couple nicks in it just from driving through the hurricane, so we got to deal with that. And then, and the passenger rear fender, I've got a little mark on it where the tire was rubbing, so we're going to fix that too. So getting that stuff fixed, that's kind of A, right? Then we move on to B, which you all know about already, which is wiring. Me and Ron are both going to attack this full on. Something's weird. I know for a fact I've got a problem on the yellow and black wire coming from the fuse panel to the passenger side headlight. There's a problem there. Anytime I hook power up with a new fuse, I pop the fuse. I got a problem there. So I need to figure that out. And then get the wiring figured out and get all that buttoned away and everything working and so on. That's probably a couple days worth of work, honestly, unless we get real lucky. And then from there, just going around this car, buffing it out, getting it ready. We still have to do the front bumper. So we'll be working on that. And, you know, just some little knick-knack stuff, but otherwise the car's great. It showed really well. The intention was to power park the car in the main area there in front of the convention center, and we ended up on the back south 40 by the swap meet, pretty much away from the crowds for the most part. So the car got a lot of attention where we were, even with all of that going against it. But kind of what happened there is it wasn't wanting to run right. It didn't want to start. Then it ran okay, but then it was rubbing on the wheels. Ron was driving. I walked. Ron pulled into the first area he could that was high ground because we knew that there was rain coming, and we knew that this exposition center has had a flood in the past, which cost hundreds of cars actually. It flooded them, so we didn't want to have that problem. And more or less, we just didn't move it from that point forward, which I think was a mistake. I will drive the car from here on out. But, you know, we should have put it out in front of everybody because it would have gotten a ton of attention, right? And that's a good thing for all things, right? I can't tell how many people walked up and asked us what it was, you know, but it seems to really attract a lot of people, so that's good. And weirdly enough, one of the big things that people keep saying to us is, I've never seen a thing with a hardtop. I guess I've seen a bunch of them just because I've looked at pictures and I was looking for a hardtop. But people really like the hardtop on it, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna jump off here, jack this car up, get these wheels off, and start working, and then we'll go from there. Just so you guys know, we did pick up some parts for the 40. Windshield parts. The only thing we're missing now for the windshield is the glass, which is a pretty big part, but it's only like $100. We just got to get it. So we'll go ahead and order that here soon. And once the thing looks like we're going to be done within a couple days, I'll order the glass and get it here. We also got the chrome center bar for the grill, so that finishes off the grill. A new one of those, and we also got the 40 has a stumble, right? So it's a 350 horse, based off like a 69, 68 Corvette motor. The 350 horse is kind of what it was based off of. It's basically pretty much 10-to-1 compression, 2-bolt main 350, ARP rod bolts, ARP head studs, or head bolts. You got ceramic block hugger headers. You got an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake manifold, and it's got a Holley Street Avenger. I think it's a 675 Street Avenger with the electric choke, and that's where our problem lies in the Avenger. So it's killer carburetor. It revs up great. Problem is when you put it in gear and you go to drive and you actually get on it at any level, anything more than just, you know, caressing yourself into it, it falls on its face. It's got a flat spot, and then it picks up and it's gone. I mean, the car just flies. So talked to the guys at Holley, and they gave me some tips on setting the accelerator pump. Make sure that's right first. Do that. If not, the squirter, they gave me a bigger squirter, accelerator pump squirter to put in, two actually. We'll try one, and then if that doesn't work or get rid of it, try the other one. But they think that'll get rid of it. So we do have that stuff, some tuning to do on the 40, which will be fun. I'll bring you guys along, show you how I'm going to do that, and then so on. But lots of things happening, guys. Stay tuned. Here in the next part of this video, you'll see this up in the air and me starting to go through the timing and all of that. I'll bring you along for all that, and we'll start dialing this thing in, getting ready to sell. So thanks for watching Brown's Rod and Custom, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you soon.